It was like a waterfall. "Get ready!" Jimin yelled out to everyone. Jimin could feel her body tense from fear. Pushing herself, she concentrated on relaxing her body and fighting against her natural instincts. Though she wasn't a soldier, Jimin reminded herself of the skills she developed as a wobble player. "Vanessa, support Liz. Keep them from getting past her," Jimin directed her teammates. Keeping her eyes on the monsters dropping to the ground, Vanessa quickly answered, "Understood, Jimin." Jimin quickly looked over at where Han and Jackie were standing. "Make sure to stick together. Don't try to fight them alone. You'll be swarmed otherwise. Protect those from Abigail's group." Being the senior in the group, Jimin felt a responsibility to make sure everyone survived. "Even if we'll just respawn from the beginning, we can't afford to lose anyone." Shaking her head, she couldn't help but think how much harder their job will be if they lose even a single person. She tried to fight the thought that this place was meticulously testing their strength. Katya rushed over to where Jimin was standing. "We'll need to slowly maneuver our way towards the others." The woman looked to where her group was standing, concern in her voice. "Agreed. Even though we are close, rushing over to them will destroy our formation and chance at reaching them." Jimin stared at the monster that dropped near her. The thing had an elongated head, eyes covering the top of it, each one bulging out like a frog's eyes. Its skin glittered from the torchlight, likely some type of mucus perfect for the environment. Staring at the long tail, which ended in a long spike, Jimin was concerned whether it was merely for piercing or if it delivered some type of poison. Instead of typical arms and legs, it had several thick tentacles with suction cups on them. It's likely what allowed them to sleep on the ceiling. Seeing the ribbing on its main body, it's likely protected by some type of skeletal system. Feeling a sensation of nausea building up inside of her, Jimin fought it down. Immediately, the tail launched towards Jimin. Effortlessly, she turned her body to barely evade the attack. She lifted one of her blades and sliced at the tail. Instead of having the satisfying feel of chopping off the tail, the blade showered sparks and bounced off of it. "Damn it," Jimin cursed after an ineffective attack. Keeping her attention on the monster as it retracted its tail, she yelled, "Watch out for the tail! It's insanely durable!" "Got it," Jackie responded in addition to the others. The hallway exploded in heat and light. With the drastic change of lighting and temperature, the monster flinched and turned towards the source. It made the same nails on the chalkboard screech, the surface of its skin rippling and twitching. God damn it. Jimin knew what had caused the hallway to light up. "Han, tell your sister to watch that ability of hers. I'll kill you if that battle maniac ends up killing all of us." Grinding her teeth, Jimin was reminded of how Jennifer went all out against the monsters on the floors above them. Unfortunately, that boy won't rein in his sister, and Jessica is equally as useless. Jimin thought as she rushed forward while activating her own stones. The blade glowed white, making the temperature drop around its immediate surroundings. Jimin sliced the main body with her weapon. As it struck the slimy flesh, instead of being blocked by the strong protective skeleton, the area immediately froze. Having its flesh frozen, it screeched in pain, countering the attack with its tail. Ducking under it, Jimin grinned viciously. "You think that'll work a second time?" The diamond on both blades glowed brighter, corresponding to the amount of light being emitted by the weapons. Seeing both weapons at the same time at the tail, instead of bouncing off like the previous time, the section of the tail struck by the weapons shattered. Not wanting to let up on the attack, she immediately followed up by piercing the creature with both of her blades. Shatter! Jimin put in more strength, and moments passed before the thing was split in half, the exposed flesh covered in icy crystals. Though she wanted to enjoy her victory, Jimin jumped back to where the others were. As soon as the monster was killed, the area was filled with 3 more of the creatures. Apathetic towards the death of their comrade, they used their tails and tried to pierce Jimin. Due to the overwhelming numbers attacking their small group, isolated from the others, Jimin wasn't able to receive any assistance from either Vanessa or Liz. Using her blades, she deflected 2 of the tails and dodged the other. With how many there were, she was only able to get a small satisfaction of freezing the tips as the spikes touched her weapons. Until I find out whether those things are poisonous, it's better to try and disable them. Using the power of the stone, Jimin made the crystallized tips shatter. It may not be as impressive as the senior teams in the facility, but I can still inflict some serious damage when I want to. She grinned at the screams made by the monsters. It seems those things primarily attack with their tails. Katya speculated upon seeing Jimin detonate her prior attacks. Jimin nodded. I suspect that's the case too. Compared to Jimin, Katya had one of her blades morphed into a small shield. Blocking one of the attacks with the shield, the blade on her arm was able to slice through the tough exterior of the creature's hide. Once again, I'm thankful that my employers are never cheap with their toys. Clicking her tongue, Jimin thought back to the shop inside the facility. I'm going to need to change my weapon again, this time to something with more substance. As she tilted her head to dodge a tail and use her weapon to freeze the appendage. I should have enough gathered from this dive to afford a better weapon. Jealousy blossomed inside towards the weapon used by Katya. A brief flash of light and streaks of lightning scattered through the air. Jimin turned to see Vanessa impaling one of the monsters in its side and flood it with her stone's power, pumping the thing with electricity from the electrical properties of her stone. Her weapon glowed with golden light. With practiced ease, Vanessa made sure to retreat before she was swarmed. Good job, Vanessa. Jimin encouraged the woman. Liz had more of an advantage with the weapon. It glowed with a purple light, keeping her stationary even after having a couple of the monsters try to push past her weapon. Making the situation better was how the monsters moved slower after crashing into the shield. The slower movement allowed Vanessa to impale and shock the things, leaving behind a charred corpse. The 2 weapons formed a powerful duo and allowed Jimin to focus on her situation, instead of having to worry about whether the 2 women were able to handle the countless enemies. Can't get too overconfident. Jimin berated herself. The worst thing I could do is try and think we have a handle on this. Seeing a tail speed towards the back of Katya, Jimin rushed over and cut through it. You going to be able to handle this? Jimin teased her new companion. Weaving between the attacks directed at her, occasionally lopping off a tail. I'm concerned we'll run out of energy fighting these things before we are able to make a dent in their numbers. Katya's ragged breath was heard over the communication device. Though she wanted to make fun of the woman's concern, Jimin had a similar thought beginning to grow inside her mind.